Hi, my name is Elena. Very short recap, not recap, but introduction of who I am. So I'm a Python developer. I organized a hackathon called Hack the Borough back in Scotland in the UK. I'm also a skydiver, or trying to become one. That's me after my first solo jump. And I work on partnerships for the amazing product that Sean described, which is the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So what really unites us today and what we all have in common is that we write a lot of emails, right? When we're raising sponsorship or we're writing emails to our participants, we write a lot of them. So how do we make them all very effective? Well, I have 5 tips and tricks for you today. Number 4 will surprise you. So tip number 1, personalize your emails. Recruiters and people who work at DevRel at big companies, they get a lot of emails. So if you send something like a cold call, you're probably not going to get a response. You might get a response, but it will have a much better response rate if you add a little white lie into it. It takes 1 minute to Google the company and find out something about it, and then you can include it in your email. And it will warm the heart of the person who works at DevRel. Ditch long titles. Long titles are great for introductions if you're sending out that first email, or if you need to escalate something, and if you're a director. But otherwise, it's great if they know you by your first name, or in my case, just E. So it helps you beyond just building relationships during the hackathon, which is also really great if they know you by your first name. But when you leave the hackathon 5 years time out, they might not remember, the director of Hack the Borough, but they might remember that one person who worked on the hackathon. And if they know your name, that makes things a lot easier. Be brief. Next time you send out a best regards or a kindest, warmest regards to someone and add that very long title, think about it twice. Do you really mean it? Or if you just want to drop something really, really brief, do you really need the whole spiel with the beginning and the end? Show your sponsor or show your participants that you're saving their time by being as brief as you can and conveying as much information as you can in 1 line, in 2 lines if you can. Chances are that if it's something that has to be really long, you might want to pick up your phone and make that phone call. Number 4, CC people. And this works in 2 ways. Number 1, it's great to have a record. So what we had a mailing list, partners@hacktheborough.com, and then all of the communication with sponsors would also go to that mailing list. But also, if you CC more people in your communication, it makes your partnership/sponsorship mean more legit, right? Because if more people need to approve it, or if more people need to have a look at it, it kind of makes it have a bit more weight. So this is a little trick that I definitely use. CC your manager sometimes. And Spelchekc. So to avoid having spelling errors, 2 things that I would recommend. Grammarly is a great extension. Don't use it at work because it does send your data to Grammarly to make those amazing algorithms that you see on your YouTube ads. And Digify is also another great one. If you need to undo an attachment, if you send a contract and you're like, oh my god, that has a mistake, then you can undo that. So it works. It definitely works for the most part. You can try it out yourselves, and maybe you will come up with your own 5 tips and tricks with a very surprising 4th one to help you in your sponsorship search. Thank you.